Environmental Management Information Systems Group Project, Endangered Species Tracking System, or ESTS. This presentation was done by Group 10. Background. A species is considered endangered when it has been categorized with a high probability of becoming extinct. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List categorizes endangered species as the second most severe conservation status for wild populations in the IUCN's schema after the status of critically endangered. Microsoft Access was used to develop a database of endangered species in Trinidad and Tobago that can be accessed by users at any time. This system was called the Endangered Species Tracking System, or ESTS, and was created with the intent of being efficient and easy to use. An endangered species tracking system is essential since it can prevent endangered animals from becoming extinct, as the relevant authorities can put measures in place for their protection. These measures can cause an increase in a species population, which will enable it to be removed from the endangered species list. Product Overview. Endangered species information for Trinidad and Tobago will be updated regularly on the database. The users will have access to the system once registered with an account. The system will enable users to view the number, location, and types of endangered species throughout Trinidad and Tobago. The user will be able to download from the system and perform queries. Only administrative personnel will be allowed to edit, add, or delete data from the database. How is the system used? The user must first register on the database, after which they must log on. Once logged on, the user can access information like the scientific name, location, and numbers of endangered species for Trinidad and Tobago. The user may also perform queries and reports can be generated. Once the user is finished using the database, they must log off. Purpose of the system: as a monitoring tool for research to access scientifically based information on the status of species and subspecies in Trinidad and Tobago, to emphasize the importance of threatened biodiversity, thereby being an educational tool, to influence policies, legislators, and decision-making, to supply information that will act to guide actions for biological diversity conservation. The intended users for the database includes universities, scientists, conservationists, legislators, decision makers, ecologists, conservation managers, governments, and citizens. An endangered species database for Trinidad and Tobago is important for interested parties to easily access any relevant information on this topic. All objectives set out were met with little challenges. Many different aspects needed to be considered to ensure full functionality of the system, but the end result was effective and easy to use. This is the Endangered Species Tracking System, or ESTS. This database shows the scientific name, common name, location, number of individuals, and the unique ID number for over 200 endangered species in both Trinidad and Tobago. To access specific information on the system, a new user must first register by clicking the User's Entry form on the navigation pane and filling out the requested information. On the new user entry window, the fields that are required are the user's first name, last name, password, and username. Optional fields are address, date of birth, and phone number. When the user is registered, their information will show up in a table on the database with other users that are already registered. There are currently 7 registered users on the system. In order to have access to alter information on the database, as well as have access to the information available to regular users, an administrator must log on to the system. The administrator can log on with their username and password on the login form under Forms on the navigation pane. Once logged on, the administrator will be taken to the main menu. Here they can enter the endangered species information for Trinidad and the endangered species information for Tobago. They can also search for any user registered on the system. These options, however, will not be available to regular users. To search as an administrator for a particular user, the Search Users option can be selected and any field can be completed on the window. This will bring up the information for that registered user. An administrator or regular user will also be able to search for the information on any endangered species in the database. This is one of the most important functions of the ESST. For example, to search for the Altacouche tree frog, one can enter the name in the respective field under the Search section of the main menu. A list of the current numbers of individuals of the species on record in Trinidad and Tobago will show up. Lastly, an administrator can access reports on users. Or both administrators and regular users can access reports on endangered species. Reports can also be printed by clicking the print icon under the Report section of the main menu. The ESST is thus a useful tool for users to obtain important information on endangered species found throughout Trinidad and Tobago.